Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 75 of the Rocket Punch Cast. As always, I'm your host, Cameron Kearns here, along with the Super Saiyan God himself, Will Turhurst.
I wish, but no.
You
Welcome,
wish?
guys. Yeah, everybody wishes they were a Saiyan. They could teleport around the universe. I mean, let's be real. You wouldn't need to pay for a car. You wouldn't need to pay for car insurance.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
You know, money saved.
You're just a farmer. You go farm crap, farm whatever.
Oh, hell no. You sign up for the military, you go fight their fights for them. You get all kinds of extra bonuses there.
I don't know if I'd want to do that. I don't know about all that, but that's still... You're our Super Saiyan God for the Rocket Punch Cast, so we love having you here. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
It looks like we're about to go into the dead zone.
Yeah, it might be a little bit. Hope everybody likes the new shirt. You can't... There you go. We'll see a little... maybe give you a hint about what we're going to be talking about a little bit today.
I don't know. Something with a destiny or something in the name.
Some like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't pay attention anymore. But, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As always, this is the Rocket Punch Cast, the place where groups of friends join this table to talk about video games into microphones. We do it every Sunday at 7 p.m. live on Twitch or YouTube, which is where the viewers are watching us right now. Listeners, it's okay. You can still join us every Sunday at 7. But if you don't want to watch us, you can always listen to us and watch the archive of the video on Tuesdays. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get the audio version early. So, I mean...
Ooh, is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing. We're making it a thing.
Oh, man.
We're bringing it back. We're making it cool, whatever little thing you want to talk about. So... oh, wait. Who's talking crap in chat? Is it Chris?
I don't know. Yeah, Chris and Steve, they're talking about droids or something.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if these are the droids we're looking for or not.
Oh, boy. This is that beverage I'm looking for. Good straight to ale, American cream.
I got a long drive home, so I'm just drinking coffee.
Yeah, so I'm ready to go because I don't have to go anywhere. So, without further ado, let's get to some table talk. You know what? Actually, we're not going to get to table talk. We're going to table flip it today. We're not going to talk about what we played last week because everybody, you, I, everybody on stream knows exactly what we played last week. So let's talk about it. Destiny 2 is out in the wild. It's available.
I'm sorry. I just saw Steve's thing in here, and what's a Destiny? It is what you make it.
We're going to have to banish you to the Shadow Realm, sir. I'm sorry.
And yes, American cream is dope.
Jay Nixter says, if you go Super Saiyan, does like your beer turn? Call a beer turn.
You know what? Fuck it, yeah. Well, hang on. Nappa never made it, so we don't know.
We don't know. Maybe Toriyama will retcon that in. You guys are derailing the conversation entirely, and we appreciate it.
Keep it up, yes.
We are going to talk about Destiny 2. And actually, while we're talking about it, guys... everybody in chat, we would love your thoughts on Destiny 2. If you're playing it, if you're not playing it, what you think of the game so far. Let us know in chat, and during this discussion, we'll read out any comments we think are pretty awesome during this conversation. But Destiny 2 is here.
Yes, and my sleep is gone.
My sleep is gone as well. What are your thoughts so far on it? Hang
on. I'm going to go ahead and go with what Pinball Undesirable is saying. Yeah, it'll just go gold and get really spiky.
No, what are your thoughts on it so far?
Let's go ahead and just say that it... Well, I think it sucks for you as far as your whole PS4 debacle, and we'll get into that debate.
Oh my God, we will. Credible Gaming just made a comment about it in the chat. Don't worry, we'll get to that entire saga.
Yeah, somehow Cameron pulled I need your PlayStations, and it got teleported over here.
Don't they like thoughts on Destiny 2?
Yeah, thoughts. I do not have a PS4 Pro that has problems with the game. My PS4 Pro runs it flawlessly. And
so still salty.
The 4K with the HDRs, I don't know if they even did the 4K support, but the game looks damn beautiful.
It looks good.
I'm loving the visuals. The art style is, well, as they describe it, nature overtaking civilization, and I am a sucker for that.
Yeah, they did a much better job with this. It looks better than Destiny 1.
Well, it should.
And a lot of people have attributed that to being... You don't have to worry about PS3 and Xbox 360 anymore.
Well, not just that. I mean, they've had a few years to up the quality of their art style.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well,
I don't know. As far as the way the game goes, I feel robbed that I can't carry a shotgun that regenerates ammo all the time around.
Calm down. Invective will. I'm sure some form of invective will be back.
No, it won't, because if they bring invective back, I'd never have to find power ammo. And let's be real, that's going to be everyone's biggest problem, is if people get invective in Crucible.
Well, yeah, we'll cross that road when we get there.
But other than that, honestly, I love the handling of the weapons is great. I'm Captain America on steroids. Let me go ahead and just say I'm a Sentinel Titan, as they call it. I can throw my shield like 4 or 5 times per ult. So shield throws and shield bashes everywhere. Get out the way. I'm gonna wreck your house, and I'm gonna pave it over with a gold or a purple shield.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm a warlock, of course. Hashtag warlock master race.
No. According to our poll, according to the Rocket Punch poll,
unscientific in any shape, form, or fashion. But
yeah, no.
No, I've had a lot of fun with playing as a warlock, going through the story and everything I've played. I love it. I'm enjoying it. The Dawnblade class is really cool. For any warlocks out there, you're basically Ichigo from Bleach, the anime, if you watch anime. But it's a whole lot of fun. A lot of the quality of life improvements that the game has very, very much needed.
Oh, agreed.
Is finally here.
The interface is actually fast enough to duck behind a rock and change a weapon without getting exploded.
That's always good. Oh yeah.
That was a big problem.
But everything they've done. Now, for full disclosure, let's go ahead and say I have beaten the game. I went through the entire story campaign. So I'm guess I would be in what you would consider the end game, unquote. Will, how far are you?
I'm like 2, maybe 3 missions out. Level 16. I'll be 20 probably by tomorrow morning.
Okay, there you go.
And beat the story.
There you go. And like all of the missions, they weren't lying when there was so much to do in that game.
Oh yeah, because even when you finish the story missions, it's like all of a sudden your map lights up and there's crap to do everywhere.
Yeah. You can freaking fast travel to different points on the map because these maps are huge. They're way bigger than they were in the first Destiny. I love that.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy, chat's getting crazy in here. Don't focus too much. Focus on the content.
Darn you, credible threat.
But no, everything, the content, the story, the fact that it has one is so awesome. I like throwing some stats out there for people who haven't heard. I think it was yesterday, a couple of quick stats. Bungie did announce 1.2 million players concurrent across PS4 and Xbox One. Great impressions, at least initial like review and progress impressions across a lot of the games industry. So your GameSpot, IGN, Polygon, Game Informer, people like those. So it sounds like this is basically what they wanted Destiny Vanilla to be.
So the 3-year beta is over, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, all right. Good deal.
I'm going to go ahead and steal those words right from Darth Turner.
No, we're not going to spoil anything for anybody. Maybe we save that for another episode. But no, what are some of your what are some of the things you like so far in the game? What are some of the things you don't like?
Without spoilers, I love having to deal with Cade. I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But you know, on the planet when he does the thing and you got to go do the thing.
Yeah, okay, the thing. Yeah, no.
I know it's extremely vague on purpose because I don't want to drop spoilers. For people.
I like Cade and the person that is with Cade that helps you with the missions on that planet.
Yes, that AI is awesome.
Yeah, she's very, very awesome. You'll love it. I'm not going to say she's GLaDOS level, but she's very close to GLaDOS level.
I wouldn't put her close to GLaDOS because it's one of those where it's like, okay. Oh, also, all I got to say is pirate references. There are pirate references, and it's great.
Oh, boy. No.
Pirates make everything better.
I've beaten the game. My favorite zone's probably the European Dead Zone, the EDZ, as the kids like to say these days. A whole lot of fun. I don't know. There's something about like that wooded area. I would have loved to have that zone or something like it in the original Destiny, but it was kind of like that in the Cosmodrome, but it really feels very fleshed out here.
Yeah. Oh man. Also, the way you go about getting your powers back.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
It's very awesome. The story is great. It's really, I mean, we joke that they have a story now, but I think now that they had a writer that actually stayed for the entire development process.
Oh man,
shots fired. The story is actually coherent. If you've listened and heard people talk about the fact that there is no mention of the darkness anywhere in the story at all, there's actually a true villain. I love and appreciate that. I mean, you go through here and honestly, unless you see the like restricted respawn area comes up, I've forgotten all about the darkness and that whole like ambiguous storyline BS that they were doing.
Well, yeah, and yeah, that whole darkness thing was weird.
Yeah, it's cool and it's weird. I'm still pissed that the stranger just basically got retconned out of the game. I would like to see more from her, but that's another thing entirely. But the story, I will say for people, if you haven't played it yet, it's not like it's not The Witcher 3 or like that top tier level story that you're gonna get, but funny enough, I would compare it to like a Halo.
Yeah, as far as story playthrough time, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it's a few hours, and they really did a good job of getting me invested in these characters. The fact it feels like there are more characters, that there's life in this world.
Wait, you're telling me that there's more character than just Cade?
Just Cade, yeah. No, yeah. There's definitely more people.
Oh, good. Man, I'd really hate to have to just deal with Cade for the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. Keep Nathan Fillion around.
Ooh, I got to do this here for our streamer. So you know who we are. Because we're talking about, I was so excited about Destiny, I didn't even flip in our banner there. So there you go. You can find us on Twitter and whatnot. But back to the conversation. There are characters that you can care about. Initially there were some picks at the story that I would have liked to see. Mm-hmm. But as we got further in, I started seeing those within the other characters, and it was really good. It's like the story isn't this happy-go-lucky like, oh, we're all on a band of stuff. There is a little bit of tension in between some of the characters as far as like motives and what they want to do and what they're going to do. And I thought it was really, really cool.
Still, I gotta say one of the best parts is when Zavala quotes Cade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say what he says or how or why we get to that point, but Zavala actually having a sense of humor.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
good.
Like,
wait, what?
It's pretty good. I'm not going to talk about gameplay. Gun combat, it's the same as Destiny 1. It's fucking awesome. If you love the Destiny 1 gun combat, you're going to continue to enjoy this.
If you like old style Halo, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
It's similar pacing, but you have superpowers.
We talked about it off mic. As far as the gear, and which is one of the big draws to the game, I told you I appreciated the fact that everything feels so much simpler. Like, especially with the guns and the weapons and the armor, it's not all these like buttons and stuff. You have to level up each weapon in order to unlock their buffs. When you get your item, when you get an exotic, those buffs are automatically on and ready to go. You can go in, and if you want better handling and speed, you can choose that option instead of the other one and flip those back and forth. But you don't have to worry about, crap, I've got to level my gun and play it a little bit in order to get the Firefly perk or something like that.
Yes, I'm extremely happy that we don't have to deal with that anymore. It is so good to be able to just grab a gun and be like, oh, it does this. Bang. Oh, it kills people. Great. Let's keep moving.
Exactly. And it's just super nice. Like, there's a lot in this game, like quality of life improvements like that are really, really awesome. I really, really appreciate. The gun stuff, I'm not going to say item simplification. It's still about the same as it was probably post Taken King. Kind of some of the enhancements they've made there. But it's really, really nice that I'm not having to freak out about like, oh my God, I got to level this Sunspot gun in order to get its perk, or do this gun and get this perk. But it's really, really cool.
Yeah, really cool. No. Also, I like how like quests actually drop exotic rewards.
Yes,
as part of the story. Surprise, they actually reward you for doing things in the story.
Oh yeah, let's actually talk about that. I'm looking at the Twitter and stuff, seeing everybody's Twitter. The content, the fact that, especially when you, even from the start, when you go to different areas, especially once you do the first story mission or two, it opens up so much. There are adventures that kind of tell these kind of compacted stories that are pretty cool. There are, if you haven't had a chance this past weekend, it's every week, flashpoints, which more or less flashpoints are, you do public events, and if you do enough of them, you'll get rewarded for it. You'll get gear from Cade.
Right.
Public events.
They actually have variety to them.
Yes, they do. What's really cool, I don't know if you figured out, I'm sure you have, but how
the higher tier ones, the heroic ones,
how it's very creative how when you're in a public event, you have to do these certain things in order to make it an heroic public event. And it's super, super cool what you have to do to give a quick tease. One of the things you have to do, there's a glimmer one where you're fighting the Fallen. It's a public event, and they're putting a glimmer drill down. Now you can go through with their different spots and kill them, but if you pay attention and find a big little console that's sucking glimmer down, if you destroy
enough of those,
if you destroy all 3 of them, it immediately goes to a heroic public event, which changes the entire objective completely.
Yeah, your get good has to get. You have to put those get good pants on and get out there
and get gooder, right?
Yeah. Get gooder.
But
I love our broken English right here.
This is Alabama, so we're allowed to say that, right?
I mean, I suppose.
But just stuff like that, and cool, like they did it in the Taken King a lot, but now they're putting it in the full game, like I think the way it was meant to be.
Yeah,
is really, really helpful. All the, like, there's so many things to do other than those. I'm trying to think. Your patrols are still there, which feel very quick, especially with the other stuff that's going on. If you don't want to do anything too involved, you can pick up a patrol, go kill 10 people, and get these 10 items. Boom, you're done. You get some excitement, or not. You get some gear. You get all this bunch of stuff. Boom, you're done. Get your little rewards and XP and whatnot. Garbage. The vendors, I was happy. I won't go and say for the Cryptarch, I was happy that Tira Karn is there. Yes. I can put up with her.
Yeah, so much better than having a freaking deal with Master Rahul.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy with that.
Oh, jeez.
And actually, since we're here, I can ask chat, everybody who's in chat, and also people, and Will, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this. Speaking of items, the game introduces a lot of different ways to get items. If you've been watching and following Destiny 2's comments, you could maybe see the talk around the shaders.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, apparently the Eververse Trading Company, what they deal in now is called bright engrams.
Yeah.
And the bright engrams drop like shaders and very cosmetic stuff, more or less. And here's the kicker. The shaders are consumables.
Yes, they are.
Now you can customize everything. Now you can customize your gear, your weapon, your sparrow, your ship, everything. But you're instead of just locking a shader in place, it's consumable. So one time use, then it's gone. It's been used. What are your feelings on that? Because right now the system works after level 20. Every time you level up, you get a bright engram.
Okay.
Now you can find engrams as well once you hit 20, a lot more prevalent in the areas you explore, but otherwise you have to actually pay money to get the engrams.
Honestly, I really don't care about it. And my reasoning why is I've already got like 20 shaders. Literally, I've got stacks of shaders at this point, so I don't care. They're dropping like flies. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I'm getting a lot, especially after 20. You get a whole bunch. I'm still want to see what this is going to turn into in the long run, especially when you get your end game. You actually get the gear you're going to roll around with,
right? And
what that's going to look like and how that's going to feel. Maybe we'll see something. I'm not sure, but
it's possible.
Yeah, but I still don't know how I feel about the whole like shader controversy. You look it up online, you'll see a lot of people talk about it. It's depending on how it's executed, it could end up being bad. Especially a credible threat in chat says nano transactions TM. So I definitely understand that. But other than that, what else? What else about Destiny 2 as like impressions? What has been grabbing you? What have you liked? Actually, we've talked about what we've not. What have you not liked so far with Destiny 2?
Honestly, there's not a whole lot I'm disliking about it. I think it's stupid that the clan servers are still like partially offline and some of the mobile stuff still isn't available.
I think that's more of a rollout. They're with 1.2 million concurrent players. They're making sure everything's running smoothly. People were freaking out that they had to wait 5 or 10 minutes to get in on Tuesday.
Guys,
when it launched.
I don't care. I've played WoW with like a literally 4,000 person queue to log in. I really don't care about that. Oh no, I had to wait 5 minutes to be able to play the game.
It happens. I'm enjoying it so far. I understand people's gripes that it's still a little weird that you don't get your Sparrow till the end of the game.
I don't really care. I've not really had a need for it yet.
As I kept leveling up, some of the public events
were further.
It was kind of annoying, but by the time you got to 20 and you finished the story, I was like, okay, I got a Sparrow. And it didn't bug me a lot, but it was kind of very nitpicky. Like,
Well, I think what they're trying to do is make sure that only level 20 players get to participate in the Sparrow Racing League.
Maybe now. I mean, you can be a lower level if you get a random drop and it drops a Sparrow. You get it. You still use it.
Yeah, sure.
It's not preventing you from doing that. So, I guess either way.
I guess.
Have we talked? Any other thoughts about Destiny 2? I want to get it all out on the table because we're going to be talking a lot about Destiny 2. I'm just going to go ahead and give you a heads up.
I have not had a chance to run a strike or anything in the Crucible yet.
No, I have not either. I'm already at level 20. I wanted to wait until I got some decent gear before jumping in there.
No, strikes dropped the decent gear.
Yeah, but I have not. So we'll definitely do that. I will definitely say we appreciate everybody who tuned in to the Rocket Punch live stream this past Thursday for Destiny 2. I think we had a lot of fun. We've talked a lot.
Chris, yes, they're keeping me out from getting my Sparrow Racing on, and I am very disappointed.
Just wait until the winter when they release it as this huge content patch and make a big deal out of it when it's not a big deal.
Oh, no. Christmas. Rocket Punch will be streaming every day. We're Sparrow Racing League.
SPR! No, SRP, whatever.
We won't be doing that.
SRL, there you go. That's the acronym. Boy, man, that American Cream's working already. No, it's a great game. It feels like...
I'm sorry.
It feels like it's drawing me back in.
Yeah.
To Destiny, kind of how it felt when the original Destiny launched, but even more so because original Destiny launched and I played for a while and I kind of fell off. If they keep the content rolling, I don't see why I would fall off this game now.
Yeah, especially because they have those two other studios helping them.
Yeah.
So Vicarious Visions is in charge of the PC version. I'm going to look up who's helping them with content.
I forgot the other two studios that are helping them, but I think the plan they're having right now, I'm sure they're having a lot of great success with Destiny 2. Congrats to Bungie on the 1.2 million concurrent players. That's a big deal, and that's on consoles only. We haven't even gotten to the PC release yet, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a lot bigger when PC launches.
Oh, High Moon Studios.
High Moon, who?
They did a couple of the Transformers games.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But
so they're going to be the ones helping out.
I'm trying to think if there's any Destiny talk. I want to talk about the story, but I can't talk about the story because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played, especially our PC gamers that are waiting on that version.
Yeah, I will say, right now I'm rolling Titan. I'm going to have 3 Titans on the PS4. PC, I'll have 3 Warlocks.
Because you're a crazy man.
I ain't playing no Hunter.
Yeah, you're a crazy man. You're a crazy man.
No, man, that means I get 3 chances at loot for one dude.
I can't roll my eyes harder enough right now. No, Destiny 2 is great. I think final verdict from the Rocket Punch crew. We're having a lot of fun. The one thing I am going to wait and see, being realistic here, is how it's going to go further down the road, and if that content and this feeling is going to stay there. They've already leaked on Polygon that the next expansion is called the Curse of Osiris. We read a thing today that basically said that I think the marketing manager came out and said, yeah, it's real. So they basically confirmed the next expansion.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that in December, but I want to know if even after the raid and the strikes, if we're still going to feel that little repetitiveness, or if they're going to add new stuff pretty frequently enough to where we don't have to worry about that.
Well, considering that it's been confirmed that the first expansion for the game will drop before Christmas, I think that's going to be fine. Yeah, we have Destiny 2 Vanilla, then we'll get the Osiris expansion, which will give us plenty to do, because it's not like Rocket Punch is going to have like Game of the Year to plan or anything like that.
God.
So, you know.
Oh, Lord. Just wait for that this year,
Between
guys.
that, World of Warcraft and BlizzCon and Extra Life.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We definitely do. But, time to turn my stuff.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
And this whole mess in Florida is not going to help you any sooner.
Yep. But you know what doesn't suck, Will?
What?
The Rocket Punch Cast. Again, as I said at the top of the show, this is the Rocket Punch Cast. Friends join this table to talk about video games in the microphones. If you're watching us now on Twitch or YouTube, you know where to catch us every Sunday at 7. You can also listen to the audio version of this and watch the archive of the video Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If you can't do that, all of our content, everything we do is found at rocketpunchgo.com. That's your one-stop shop, your place you're going to find everything you need Rocket Punch, all of our podcasts, our videos, archive streams, everything is right there for the taking. We just released our latest Creator Spotlight in a while.
Yeah.
The Winter Robin cosplay with Danielle Kraft. That was a very fun interview. As I've said, I've wanted to talk to a cosplayer, so I was really happy to kind of sit down and get a chance to talk with a cosplayer about just how cosplaying is, that life behind that. It was really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I had time to do that stuff was with you, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I've only done it once. We're never speaking of it again, but it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
2007, you won't hear about any other context.
It was very fun. But if you are loving the content, enjoying what you're seeing, you want to help support us, you can always go to patreon.com/rocketpunch for as little as $1. You can help support the show, keep the lights on, and get awesome goodies like bonus episodes, free wallpaper packs, maybe even a pin or two or a sticker. Ooh, that's pretty cool. But definitely check it out again, patreon.com/rocketpunch if you want to help support the show. But if not, then just keep watching, because you watching and consuming our content is helping us out a ton. Enough with the plugs. We got Destiny out of the way. We wanted to help you guys out and get that out of the way because you knew it was coming this week. Let's talk about another popular game.
There's popular games besides Destiny and Warcraft?
There is. Now hear me out.
Hold on now.
Maybe to the chagrin of some fans out here, we're going to talk about a game that we have not talked about in depth really on the podcast, if ever. We're going to talk about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or as the kids like to call it, PUBG.
Oh, oh, PUBG. All right, let's go.
Let's talk about PUBG. Let's talk about the rise of PUBG. And while we're talking about this topic again, like we said, chat, if you're in chat, let us know in the comments how you feel about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, what your thoughts are. If you're up on it, you're down on it, let us know. But PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has been a huge success. I'm going to read some numbers that have basically come up over the past week. Over 10 million copies have been sold of the game.
Good.
It's still in early access.
Yeah, it's not even an officially released game yet.
Yeah. Over 1 million players concurrent on Steam. It has already surpassed Dota 2. And it's slowly approaching the, I think, 1.2 or 1.3 million record that Dota 2 has set for most concurrent players in a game ever.
I thought WoW did that.
No, on Steam.
Oh, Steam. Sorry.
On Steam.
I'm like, wait a minute, hang on. I thought WoW set that record for concurrent players.
No, Chat says chicken dinners. Yep.
Oh, actually, no. League set that record.
But want to talk about PUBG and the rise of PUBG and like how that's happening, what that means. What did that mean for the game and the industry going forward? I've heard a lot of pretty good conversations the past couple of days on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now, chat, I'm going to preface this, we both are, by saying this. Will and I have never played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
And I will never play it.
And I don't know if I will ever play it. I may try it, but to get that context out, I've watched streams of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds over at CredibleThreatGaming.com. Check it out.
It's fun to watch. I just don't have any desire to play it.
Yeah. And what Darth Turner in chat says, PUBG is love, PUBG is life. It's like chat can help me understand it. I want to talk about it like first question, what is drawing people to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Because I guess from my camp, when I see PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, graphics look way better lately than what I saw before, but it looks like just a kind of deathmatch simulator. You dropped on this island with 99 other people and you're shooting and playing around. But what are your thoughts on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and what do you think is drawing people to that game so hard?
I think because everyone starts equally. It's fair advantage. You don't have special loadouts like in Call of Duty or Halo 5 where you have like, ooh, I got this. It's mine. Let's do this. No, it's just you're dropped in there. You may as well be naked and go figure it out. And I guess some people find that appealing.
I mean, I've watched the stream. You start out on the match on like a airstrip and there are a bunch of weapons and stuff on the table and everybody makes a mad dash to grab weapons, and then after about 30 seconds you're put into the plane to land. So you could come out loaded from the start. Sometimes you could come out with nothing and you kind of have to scrap around with that.
So Hunger Games.
It's the Hunger Games. It's literally the Hunger Games, the game. They just can't brand it that way.
No, they can't. I mean, I guess it's a cool idea. I'm not attracted to the idea. I'll watch it if our boys at Credible Threat are playing it. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that.
Only if they're playing it. Only if them.
Oh, I mean, if Darth Turner's playing it and he's streaming, I'll watch him if I'm available. But I mean, it's one of those. Other than that, I mean, if I want to go fight other people in a game, I can fire up the Crucible. I can go to the arena and WoW. So for me, I just don't have that much draw because games I already have a mode for me to go kill other people and get killed by other people.
Yeah. Or chat says, isn't it Battle Royale the game? Yeah, it could be Battle Royale.
Yes, you are correct, because that movie is the start of all this crap.
Yep. I have some thoughts. I think one of the biggest draws is that it's on PC.
Yeah.
It's a huge
it'll be on Xbox probably before Christmas. Out.
It's even in early access, it plays pretty well for an early access game, and it's not expensive. $30.
True.
To pick up.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare that to No Man's Sky.
Ooh, shots fired. But I think even more so is that, at least from people that I've talked to that do play it, they tell me like it's that suspense, that what a thrill, plugging in Metal Gear Solid here. It's a like just being, you land, you have to the thrill and suspense of having to run around and grab items and basically survive before other people find you and kill you. You have to kill them before you kill them, and you have this huge sandbox to play around in. I mean, it's very big and very detailed. Like the buildings, there are so many buildings you can go into.
I really feel like this game would be cool if they were to add a secondary map.
I think they are going to. That's their plan. I think chat, correct me if I'm wrong, there might be like a desert map or something coming.
No, they need a Chernobyl map.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's coming down the road. So
I'm just saying, because at least that'll explain why people are dying randomly as the area that's habitable gets smaller.
I thought that was the whole Battle Royale Hunger Games process.
Right, I'm just saying, but you can also, Chernobyl, that's a thing.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is a thing.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be a decent idea for a map if they don't already have a city area.
Yeah, chat says the same thing about the map, and I like I said, I think that more maps are coming, just like Dragons. They're coming. It's just early. It's early access. I'm curious to see how long this game stays in early access. I mean, they've got enough money. They sold over 10 million copies, so I would assume they'd be okay.
Okay, yeah.
The chat Darth Thunder says they're adding a smaller desert map, and they keep adding new weather conditions. So that's super awesome.
Cool. Thanks for the heads up.
In it, I think it's very inexpensive to pick up. It's not necessarily super taxing, and it's fun. I think this is one of those games where, in our weird industry, it doesn't have to be about story or these cool little mechanics. It's literally grab a gun, like you said, it's pick up and play. If you know how to play a third-person shooter on a PC, you would probably know how to play this game, and you can get a lot of fun out of this, especially with they have team matches as well, where you can group up with other people. That's super fun.
Yeah. Isn't there an issue, though, with this game? Didn't they say there was not going to be any expansion or anything that was like a paid add-on until after the game came out and they're charging for loot boxes?
The cosmetic stuff, that's going to be after the game comes out, yeah.
No, I think you can pay for loot boxes right now.
Well, of course. Look, when you have games that you pay money to get in the early access, Fortnite, and then it's free to play later on. I mean, like the whole like early access pay to play stuff is just thrown out the window. The whole bug is just burn it. But I'm curious. I want to know, and maybe it just takes me playing it. But from what I've seen, I can kind of see the appeal to people to playing this game, how they'd feel about playing it, and kind of jumping in. Next questions.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're being corrected via chat.
Oh.
Just during Gamescom, they had the loot boxes. They don't have microtransactions until they leave early access. Thanks,
okay,
guys.
Good. Thanks for the correction, guys. We appreciate it.
Sorry, I just saw that and I was like, "What the hell?" Because I remembered that being a thing, and people got mad about that.
Yeah, they did get a little upset. Now, other half of this question is chat and Will. Do we think that it will maintain popularity? And if we do, for how long? I mean, they literally, I feel like every week I'm hearing like X million players are playing, over this many concurrent players. Like it's the train is rolling, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon.
I give it maybe 2 more years.
You say 2 more years?
Yeah, most. Here's the reason why. Whenever Red Dead, whatever comes out, the next Red Dead, when that comes out, because Rockstar is going to steal most of the PC show.
You think it'll fall out? One thing I'm thinking of as well is what happens when Destiny 2 on PC comes out and people jump on that.
That's a good point, because, I mean,
especially with the way Destiny 2 is being seen across the entire industry right now. It's like, it's a great game. It's super fun. The hype is real on the game. And like PC players are like, ooh, I can't wait till I get in on late October. I'm curious if there will be a drop-off at that time.
Oh, I mean, I guess we'll see Credible Threat start streaming Destiny instead of PUBG then. I mean, Crucible's a real thing, man. I'll show up and watch that. I may even try to get in on that, but that's a different ballgame.
But I don't know if I'd say the people in chat are kind of echoing some thoughts that at least I have. I think it's really great. It is popular. It's easily accessible. I'm not going to be surprised if when the next big thing comes, it kind of gets overtaken. Maybe it's a Destiny 2 on PC. Well, maybe it's another game.
But my thought is, like, it's not going to go away anytime soon because people spent money on this. They're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
And plus, once it gets that infusion of the Xbox player base, because it's going to be published by Microsoft.
Yep.
For that. So
I do think that coming on Xbox One is going to be a big boost to their player base, especially bringing it out on consoles first. But even then, I think, is that going to be a strong enough game to pull people away from Destiny 2 and from the other games that are coming out before it this fall?
I don't think it'll do as well as on Xbox One because of games like Destiny.
Yeah. I'm not even Destiny. I mean, you think you got Call of Duty coming out this fall.
Yeah.
You've got Star Wars Battlefront 2 coming out this fall.
They have an expansion for Battlefield 1
coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, really good third-party games coming out. And at least for right now, there's no date on the Xbox version. They just said later this year, and right now I'm not going to be surprised if it's late December, like early to mid December this year.
Well, like a December 5th launch or something.
Yeah,
like that.
some like early December stealth launch.
It's like, oh hey, it's because it's gonna be digital only anyway.
Yeah,
it'll just be a download on the Xbox store.
I am going to tell you one thing that I'm curious and / concerned about with this game, and I don't know when that's going to happen, is when, talking about the next big thing, I think the thing that may hurt PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is when another game similar to it, another third-person shooter, comes out with a similar mode for it.
Well, like if Ghost Recon came out with a mode like this?
Ghost Recon Wildlands comes out with a mode like that. What was the other game I think I've talked about before? I cannot think about it. But some game like that, because Ubisoft has already talked about, man, we need to get on that PUBG bandwagon. And I think that it's a little concerning for me for this game because it's an indie game and a lot of bigger corporations are seeing how successful this game is. And so the kind of, especially for games already out there, to kind of say, oh, grab that stuff. Let's put it in a mode, like a deathmatch mode or some type of special mode in our game, and then we release it out. I think actually, if I remember the news, chat got me. Grand Theft Auto 5 is making, I think they just released a mode just like that, where you're dropped on an island and it gets shorter and you have to kill people for that.
Of course Grand Theft Auto has that. Because they've essentially made Grand Theft Auto the MMO out of Grand Theft Auto 5.
And GTA Online is huge. People don't think about it a lot, but I think on the Steam concurrence it's like Dota 2 or PUBG, Dota 2, then Grand Theft Auto Online. It's like, if not right behind those two, very close. And I'm curious if, now granted, if Grand Theft Auto Online just put that mode out, it doesn't look like it's hurting PUBG at all. But if they start trumpeting that and putting that out on social and stuff like that, we've got this great mode, and basically it's like PUBG, but without actually saying those words, will that draw people in and keep them held in that game and maybe kind of dwindle?
I mean, I have GTA 5, so I guess I could find out what PUBG's like just by playing that.
I mean, hell, 80-something million people have Grand Theft Auto 5. That's like, it still charts on monthly NPD charts. That's how big Grand Theft Auto 5 is.
I think that's just because people keep getting banned, so they buy another copy.
Hey, and Rockstar is okay with that. But and it's not, I want people to know we're not taking a dump on PUBG at all. I like seeing that game succeed. Even if I don't understand it, I respect the game. I think, Will, you're the same way.
Yeah, no, hey, man, a game developer's making money and they have a community around it. Good for them.
Exactly, and I just don't... It's another one of those cases where indie games are where a lot of innovation and stuff is, and I think it would feel really bad if another bigger corporation kind of came in and took that idea as their own, unquote, and people just forgot about PUBG and just like, oh, but that's where it started.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Dark Turner brings up a good point in chat. A lot of love, they get a lot of love from streamers, and so there's some loyalty there.
Pinball Undesirable says, no, we're just PUBG haters. Like I said, I haven't played the game, so I can't hate on it if I haven't played it yet.
I'm being honest. I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to spend $30 to play something for 5 minutes. Yep. Just like Credible Threat Gaming doesn't want to spend $200 to experience the Star Wars VR for like 10 minutes.
We didn't forget about that. Do y'all think chat has a good question. Do y'all think the continual making of games like Calling of the Games? Ooh, I'm going to save that question, Jay Nixer, for at the end of the episode. We're going to answer. Actually, I didn't even say at the top. Anybody that has any questions, if you want us to answer them, put them in chat, and we will go through at the end of the show and answer those.
Within reason.
Within reason, of course. But Jay Nixer on YouTube, we will answer that at the end of the episode for you. We got a nice Q&A section for you guys. That's enough PUBG. I'm super excited. If you are enjoying PUBG, if you're not enjoying PUBG, let us know. Tweet us at RocketPunchGo. You can also go to our website, rocketpunchgo.com/contact. Let us know what your thoughts are and what your views are on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'm curious to know what the community thinks about the game.
Yeah, go for it, man. I would love to hear more than just, oh man, PUBG's great. Yeah, give us details, please.
Yeah. Now look, PUBG, we're kind of on, but there's one game, there's one series that we can all be like, yeah, it's the fucking best, and that's Final Fantasy, baby. Yes, we're talking about Final Fantasy. If people know me, I'm super excited.
You mean Chocobo the game?
Hey, I would love a Final Fantasy Chocobo racing game. Totally off topic. No, I tweeted this and I released a little clip on Bytes, our other piece of content we have on our twitter.com or Twitter on Rocket Punch Go or anchor.fm/Rocket Punch. But Final Fantasy, this past week was the 20th birthday for Final Fantasy VII. One of my favorite RPGs of all time, I can definitely say. Will's like, it's all about FF9, bro.
Hey, man, at least you understand that I appreciate the capabilities that people have in making games like that, but 9 is supreme.
And I wanted to take, since it was its birthday this week, I wanted to take a little bit of time at the end of the show just to talk about Final Fantasy VII, the game in, overall as a whole, and what are our thoughts, what have we enjoyed, favorite moments. Like, Final Fantasy has been around for a long time. It's one of the longest running series in the gaming industry. I think it's as old as I am.
87. You're pretty old.
87. I think 1987 is when it came out, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and don't call me old. Get out of here. You're turn off his mic. No, we're done with you. But I've talked on the podcast and on other pieces of content we have about my love for Final Fantasy. What kind of looking at the state of Final Fantasy, number one, what are some of your favorite moments or favorite games in the series since, celebrating its birthday a little bit here?
Or
Final Fantasy VII's birthday.
I was going to say, honestly, I love the intro on the train.
In 7?
Yeah, in 7. That intro is really good. And I don't mean that just because, that's the start of the game and that's kind of what brings you in. I honestly like the intro just because of the fact that it's a slightly different take on introducing you to these characters.
Yeah,
because true. I really don't see many characters in a game, unless you can start looking at anime, where you get a weird intro like that and then it kicks off.
I think one of my favorite scenes, like moments in 7, is at the end of Disc 1, where you go through Shinra. Mm-hmm. The Shinra building, and you have the bike scene.
Oh, the bike chase!
You have the bike chase, and then when you get out and it tells you take out Disc 1, put in Disc 2, and you put in Disc 2, and it's like this whole world opens up. Like, you've been in Midgard the entire time, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
What is this?
And taking that into context, you have to remember, the game came out in 97, so I was maybe like 11 or 12 at the time. So seeing that, it's like, oh my goodness, all these places we can go and do. Yeah. And it was just those are one of my favorite moments. I still love the end when you fight Sephiroth. Mm-hmm. One Winged Angel. That's all I'm gonna say. Fucking love that song. Fun fact: Polygon has a huge spread on Final Fantasy VII. They did a lot of interviews for it. And they have the game's composer, Nobuo Uematsu, basically come on when they're talking about One Winged Angel, is that it's so popular they're required to play it at every Final Fantasy concert. Everywhere. They have to play it. They can't not have that on the show.
If they don't play it, people will literally commit mass genocide in the streets. It's game over. Human population dies. It's done.
Oh, yeah. Credible Threat throws some stuff in chat. He liked the CG cutscenes, and
also this says something about him. He likes the cross-dressing part.
No, look, that was hilarious. And you again thinking about in that time, this is the late '90s. That wasn't in games, and to have that whole scene and go through the little whorehouse, it was hilarious.
Oh no, I'm just talking about him cross-dressing.
Oh yeah, and he even says it first. He liked that it came on 3 discs. It was. Same for me. It was the first game I ever had on multiple discs, and it felt epic. Like, holy crap.
I got to do all of this, and it's so big it took 3 discs.
Yeah, until 8 came out and 9 came out, and they said, no, we're giving you 4 discs, bro.
Let me tell you something. You want to talk about showing off a PS1? Mm-hmm. You put Final Fantasy 9 in there. That game.
That did look good.
It was almost PS2 level.
Yeah, that was basically the end of its life before PS2 came out.
Yeah.
So, but no. Loved Final Fantasy VII. Again, one of my favorite RPGs. A lot of great, cool moments. people argue about if it's the best Final Fantasy. People argue about if it's the best RPG ever. I think I'm right in this comment that I think it's the RPG that helped push Japanese RPGs to where they are now.
I could agree with that, yeah.
Or like push the genre forward, especially with like the 3D polygons, everything like that.
It's kind of interesting though when you look at Final Fantasy VII versus the rest of it, just because. Okay, cool. We've got this weird like, what the hell was it? Just the way the sprites actually moved on the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like when you're going through Midgar's Cloud and it's like that crappy construction zone.
Yeah,
that path is so trash.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, it's horrible. Now, and I didn't necessarily want to keep it to 7 because it's Final Fantasy. There's a lot of games in the series. What are some of your other favorite games in the series? Favorite moments?
I actually really like 12. I just got it on PS4.
I love 12. I think 12 doesn't get enough love. It's really good.
I played it the first time it came out, and I was kind of meh on it. Going back and playing it now on the HD remaster, I missed a lot that I shouldn't have missed.
Yeah, my brother, as I've said before, my brother and I literally played 12 overnight. Like the sun set and then rose. My mom comes in and is like, "Did you guys even go to sleep?" We're like, "Nope, sure didn't."
Sleep. What's sleep, Mom?
Yeah,
that haunted look that any parent with gaming kids will understand.
We looked at her and said, "Do you even game?" You know, it was awesome. I know you're a big fan of 9.
Yeah,
super huge fan of 9. I like 9 as well. I really do like 9.
I mean, we can all agree that 9 is the best Final Fantasy game out there.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah, hey, no, man. Cool, man. You're entitled to your opinion. Yeah.
Hey, all I'm saying is Alexander being a giant freaking castle. Bet you didn't expect that crap.
Oh, he's always been kind of castle. Even in 7, he was castling.
No. But I mean, it's just like, oh, it's her castle that she lives in.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, true. Fair enough. People will probably give me shit about this. I liked 13. I don't think it was the best Final Fantasy, but I liked it. 13.2 and 13.3, they should have just not made those. But I liked 13. It was a cool little story. It was on PS3. Everything looked so much better. And maybe that's why I like it so much. But I liked 13. I like
15 is actually really good.
15 is good. 15 is really fun, really good. I have not beaten the game yet because God forbid there were too many games that year.
Now also, guys, I don't know if you know, but if say you want to spend money on an MMO, but you don't want to be part of the master race that is WoW, 14 is actually a very good MMO.
Like, people don't think about it, but World of Warcraft is the most popular MMO on the market.
The next one is Final Fantasy 14.
Like, as far as paid subs go, Final Fantasy 14 has over 2 million subs. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but still like right up there, right behind World of Warcraft, and that's not necessarily a bad spot to be in.
And they have fairly consistent content updates.
Yep, especially after the whole. I will definitely say
Realm Reborn situation.
If you like Final Fantasy, you like MMOs, and you have not watched the No Clip series from Danny O'Dwyer about basically how Final Fantasy 14 was made horribly, shut down, and then kind of rebooted, it's a very good watch. I think it's like 3 videos. It's super, super good. If you like documentaries on video games, go check that out. It's really good. The last question I wanted to ask about the state of Final Fantasy. 15 is done. We're getting the Pocket Edition soon for mobile. Where do you think, or where do you want the series to go from here?
Just don't take another decade to make the next game, first off. Can we not do that? You have the engine for 15.
So
Use
we don't want the game to take forever. Okay, check.
I would take 15's engine and make the next 2 Final Fantasies in that.
Okay.
I don't make a new engine for every damn game.
I'd agree with that. Well, I think they have to every new console generation, because this is our first.
Yes, but this game started its life cycle as Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Yes, that is also true.
Which was going to be a PS3 exclusive, so let's not forget that.
I remember that. More cup noodles.
Yeah, more cup noodles. Bring more Coleman camping gear. Hang on, what else can I not forget about this? Yeah, started off with a boy band pushing a car.
Oh man, playing "Stand by Me." Yeah,
that was hilarious. I have to give it to him. That intro was great.
I would like to go back to something more fantastical, like something along the lines of like 12 or 9, where Ivalice and like swords and like
swords and sorcery.
Yeah, and like 15 was cool and 13 was cool with like the guns and the magic and the swords and stuff like that, but kind of going back to that traditional fantasy setting.
Red mage, white mage, black mage.
Yeah, I would love to kind of revisit the world like that. Apparently I'm a big fan of Ivalice because that's where Final Fantasy 12 takes place. That's where Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced takes place. That's where Final Fantasy Tactics takes place. So I'm a big fan of Ivalice. I would love going back to that world. I think there are a lot of stories that haven't been told there. Jay Nixter in chat says, we still waiting on Kingdom Hearts Square. You got Final Fantasy 15, now get us Kingdom Hearts. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's let them work on Kingdom Hearts first.
No, they need 2 separate teams, all right? They need a Final Fantasy team and a Kingdom Hearts team. It's not taking like 30 years to make a game.
Oh, man, wait, early 18. That's what they said. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be out 2020.
Yeah. We've seen a couple of videos on Kingdom Hearts. I'm not going to say
we saw a couple of videos for freaking Final Fantasy Versus 13 too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say 2018. I'm thinking 2019, but we'll see what happens. They said 2018, so
I don't care if they got to bring one of the other Square Enix studios in to help speed this up.
Yeah,
finish Kingdom Hearts and then get us the next Final Fantasy.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything? I don't know. I think like bringing it back to the fantasy setting might bring some longtime fans back to the fold. I think some people may have been put off by 13 and 15 style, which I don't knock Square for trying something new. I don't think people should be hurt or punched in the face for trying something new.
I'd also be okay with 14. So we had 11, 12, 13, and then 14 is the MMO. So we got 15.
Yep.
So we should get like 1 or 2 more, hopefully, before they go to the next MMO.
I don't think they'll do an MMO again for a while just because of what happened with 14. And I think they still want to keep on that train.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people invested in 14.
Yeah, I agree too. That's why I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Plus that engine's easy enough to adapt.
Exactly.
I mean, heck, they got it running on PlayStation and PC.
Oh, that's good. That's not bad at all.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, that game does crossplay.
What game?
Final Fantasy 14. It does crossplay between PC and PlayStation.
It does. Yeah. You're right.
I mean, all I gotta say is don't be surprised. Like, Sony's let Square Enix do it for years.
Yeah, you're right.
They just don't want to have to deal with Xbox plebes.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I have an Xbox too, but let's be real. This is Sony we're talking about.
But no, chat listeners, let us know what you guys think about Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy the series. What are your favorite moments? What do you not like about it? Let us know at Rocket Punch Go, or you can go to our rocketpunchgo.com/contact and let us know what you guys think. I'm really curious what some thoughts are on the series.
I will say the Final Fantasy movies aren't as bad as people give them credit for.
They're not. They're really not.
Spirits Within was actually an enjoyable film for me.
It wasn't bad. It was okay for a first attempt.
I bought that movie 3 times. Be quiet.
Man. Now, Advent Children, that was awesome.
Advent Children on Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah, not biased at all. The fact that it has 7 characters in there, not biased at all.
No, not at all. Especially with Cloud, there's like 8 swords out of the motorcycle.
So now, since we're streaming the show live. We're going to jump into some of our questions that we have from chat. I'm going to go back through and read some that we had. If you want to ask a question, just throw it in chat. We'll take a look at it. Jay Nixter from YouTube asks, do y'all think the continual making of game like COD and such perpetuate similar and the same games over and over, or are they what has to be done to do future more experimental games like Okami? You follow that question?
Yeah, so essentially games like Call of Duty, the yearly games that we're all used to having.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes, because gaming is a business, and a lot of people don't like hearing that. But if publishers and developers don't have some kind of income stream, they're not going to be there to make the games that we do love. I mean, let's just be honest. You got to have money to make games. And if you're not getting backers via Kickstarter or somewhere else or early access, then really they have no money to exist to be able to make the game.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's a business. It's a creative art, but it is also a business. And people have to remember that. As much as I hate saying that, like Destiny, I mean, the reason why Destiny is being pushed so hard compared to Call of Duty is because Call of Duty is kind of worn out.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had Call of Duty for a while.
And Activision's putting their money behind Destiny. That's why Ubisoft had to take some time off on the Assassin's Creed series. Because they wore it out, releasing a new one every year. A new broken one every year.
Now, to their credit, Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft, he came out and said, we're going to keep making Assassin's Creed until people tell us to stop making Assassin's Creed. And then when they tell us not to, we'll stop. And guess what? The people told them with Unity and I think to some extent Syndicate, we don't want any right now. And so they said, okay, we're going to take an extra year off. And the way the talk is around Origins, it sounds like this is going to be a good time to jump back into Assassin's Creed.
And I'm not saying shut it down. I'm just saying like Madden happens every year for a reason. Okay. A, because football makes money, and B, because John Madden and the NFL license can print money for EA. And their fans are all over the place as far as, like, I want to see my football team. I want to make them win games, and I want to take them to the Super Bowl, even though they're bad enough and they won't make it. I'm a Dolphins fan. I know. He's a Bucs fan. He knows.
I know. Hey, 07, baby. We had one good year.
Yeah.
I agree with you, like, to this point, that I think that sometimes us as gamers, we don't realize that these companies that are like, hey, we're for the gamer, we're giving you these services, we're giving you back compat, we're giving you all this accessibility and things like that, that they are a business at the end of the day, and that not in a bad way, but they're there to make money off of our passion and our hobby and what we like to do. And I think that I think the reason, Jay Nixter, that you're talking about that is that I think that still has to happen because we have corporations and the big head honchos of these big corporations. I think, and feels like it more and more lately, what they're feeling like and what they want is they want money. They want a return on their investment. They want their bottom line. Mm-hmm. And so I think because of that, a lot of the higher ups, the people that are making decisions, or even the developers, because of the people making these decisions, are having to come in and say, okay, look, what works? What's going to get people to put their $60 down and pay for this game?
Yep. And
for right now, it's the same stuff like Call of Duties and Assassin's Creeds and
the Maddens and the FIFAs and
the sports games and things like that, because people keep coming back to those. I think that I personally think we're not seeing a lot of unique, as Jay Nixter said in his question, experimental games like Okami, like or even just new IP. If you really want to dig that deep, like Guerrilla Games finally got to do Horizon Zero Dawn
after how many kill zones?
Exactly, and then look what happened with that. With Okami was a big game, a big proponent like that. I'm trying to think of other,
or even little games like Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yep, and kind of driving my point there. I think that where we're seeing a lot of that experimental, quote, innovative stuff and kind of taking risks is in the indie scene. Because there are so many indie developers and there's so many games out there that sometimes those indie guys have to figure out a game or something that works. Like you're not going to see an indie game make a Call of Duty clone, like unless they're just trying to make the quick cash grab. They're not going to be successful at it. Like people will play it and say, well, this is just a lesser Call of Duty. Why would I want to play this when I can just wait until go get the new Call of Duty game and get a much better experience, and I get multiplayer, and I get all this other stuff, and I get dedicated servers and all these other things like that. But Jay, next to answer your question, I think we have to have some of those games like Call of Duty so that we can hopefully, if developers and publishers are smart and they listen to gamers, they can take that money and put that extra money towards experimental games that may or may not work. They don't know. We don't know until we play them and get more experiences like Okami, instead of just trying to line their pockets with it, which I think some of them do. But I think it's I'm not going to say necessary evil, but it's something along those lines. Like I play Call of Duty for the single player. I do not care for the multiplayer at all. But if we have to keep getting Call of Duties in order to get Horizon Zero Dawns and Okamis, I'll take that.
Yeah. I wish there was an option for Call of Duty, like I could buy the story mode only for like $30 and multiplayer for $30, but they'll never do that.
Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
He brings up that
is a good example of an experiment.
That was good. I liked Mario Sunshine.
Oh, dude, I love most of the Nintendo GameCube games. I enjoyed the hell out of. It's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo. Come on, man. I had way too much fun with Mario Sunshine.
Hell, Double Dash was fun, and that was a bit of an experiment.
Yeah, with the two kids.
Yeah, two people on the same cart.
But it was with a proven formula. It was a Mario Kart.
Yeah, so they just had to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, actually, here's a good creative one: Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Like, apparently, I haven't heard sales figures, but it did well critically. I'm playing the game. The game is fun, and that was Nintendo taking a chance on their third-party IP.
True.
Hopefully, maybe we see a little bit more of that in the future, but
I'd like to see more of that with Metroid.
Or other Nintendo properties. Yeah, I agree.
But it's okay. We're going to get Metroid Prime 4 because we need a fourth in that series.
Is it 4?
It's going to be 4.
I mean, okay.
They're also remastering 2 for the 3DS. It comes out this month.
Oh, that is? Yeah, I'm going to figure out how that is. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But everybody in stream, listeners listening on your podcast service of choice, that is the end of Rocket Punch Cast, episode 75. Again, you guys know where all of our content is. RocketPunchGo.com. That's going to be your one-stop place to find everything. If you are listening to this on the audio version, if you can, or even if you're a video version, wherever you consume this, if you can help us out, go to your podcast service of choice and rate and review the podcast. It really helps us out and gets us out to more people. If you can go and just take a few minutes to rate us and review the show. Also, if you get a chance to subscribe to the podcast as well, that helps us out as well and also helps our discoverability to get us to more people. But other than that, again, that is the end of the Rocket Punch Cast episode 75. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in and listening via audio or podcast. We also very much appreciate everybody who's tuned in via Twitch or YouTube, via video stream. Anything else?
Yeah, I want to add one thing, actually.
Yeah,
as it's all over the news. A lot of people have heard about Irma and how it's eating Florida right now. If you are capable or able to help in some way, donate to a food bank or something along those lines, donate blood.
Agree.
If you can't afford to give anything else, just do what you can to help, because now we have 2 states that have been brought to their knees, and they're Americans like the rest of us.
Yep.
So please help, guys. Other than that, thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate your guys' continued support. We'll keep bringing this to you as long as you guys keep wanting it. But until the next episode, farewell.
Bye.